Stay tuned and let's check out this Marvel Legends X-Force free pack with Let's check out this Marvel Legends X-Force free pack with Rictor, Domino, and Cannonball Legs. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember, you can now hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Quite simply, show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today, we are taking a look at this Marvel Legends X-Force free pack with Rictor, Domino, and Cannonball. Now, of course, at the intro, I joked about finally having Cannonball's legs, as there was a lot of controversy over this previous version of Cannonball who came with this blast effect. Now, I never disliked the blast effect. I actually like the option of being able to display a character with their powers and abilities showing. It makes it a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more fun for the shelf. But I also appreciate options, so it would have been nice to get the legs, but now we do in this free pack, and we also get the blast effect again, but it's different colours as well, so you don't feel like you got the same one twice. So options, I appreciate it. Of course, we'll compare him. He comes with 2 heads, blast effect, hands, no actual hands. Those hands are for Domino. Rictor comes with some effect pieces as well, hands and a gun. Rictor, we've never had in Marvel Legends form before. So if you're a completionist like me and you want at least one of every character, you need to get yourself Rictor, first time in 6-inch Marvel Legends. And of course, we've had Domino before, but not in this particular look from the 90s. During this time in the comic, this was actually Copycat, not Domino. So if you know your comics, it's Rictor, Copycat, Cannonball. But still, a very 90s, colourful, inspired box set. And you can tell that because it's got all the card art on the side of the box. And if I spin it around, you'll see that very same card art on the back. So no bios, no wave association, just 3 throwback cards to the 90s with Rictor, Domino, and Cannonball. So I'm sure Ryan Ting had something to do with that. So I'm assuming this is a Disney shop exclusive both in the UK and US, or maybe a shared exclusive on Hasbro Pulse as well, because I do think this is still up for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse UK. Hopefully you will have it in your hands by the end of the year. Shout out to Hasbro and Marvel, of course, sending it my way for an early look. So without further ado, let's get it open. So here we have them all out of the box with all of their accessories on the table. So as I said, Rictor comes with an interchangeable set of hands and blast effects. Domino comes with weapons and an interchangeable set of fists. And then Cannonball comes with an interchangeable head and then his blast effect again. So very nice. So let's look at these individually one by one. And let's start off with the very first time in the line, Rictor. First impressions of Rictor, this is a really nice looking figure, very accurate to what we see in the comic panels as well. So this is a new head sculpt with a new hairpiece there, and you can see it sort of sweeps over one shoulder, about shoulder length all the way around the back, very nicely sculpted. Yeah, this is a very nice head sculpt indeed. And the shoulder piece is all brand new as well. So this neckerchief and shoulder pad is all one piece. So I'm assuming if I pop the head off, this would actually come off. It's not 2 separate pieces, but that works very nice. So the whole top half of this is all new. The rest of the figure, however, is a bit of reuse from here, there and everywhere, but still very nice. As I said, his character design is going to stand out on your shelf with the greens and the blues, the greys. We've got the red X logo on the front there, which is very nice. And he's got the ab crunch as well. So he's got the nice crunch there, moves really well. You've got the tassels, the green tassels on the sort of arms that are nice and flush on the shoulder on this side. You see a little bit of skin poking through there, but I'm sure I can just move that up a little bit. But yeah, those tassels are nice. Match the green bout. Bit of chrome there on the middle. Then he's just got loads of pouches all the way around, which is nice enough. And then he's got the grey sort of uniform with a bit of the crossy of blue effect, which is nice. It just works. You get the bit of a blue up there, nice contrast against the grey boots as well. And the boots have sort of like a knee pad, which is a separate piece, so you can actually still articulate the legs, not a problem at all. So yeah, this knee pad is a separate piece glued to the knee. It's not glued, but you see what I mean? It's like wiggly a little bit, so it's separate. But there's his double joint. It's not bad. Can't kick his own ass, but it's not bad. It's because it's a big, thick piece of plastic there. He has got these like sort of spikes on his boots as well. Both shoes. I don't think I've seen them on another Legend before, so they're new for Rictor. So we can kick someone. But yeah, this is a very nice looking figure. As I said, we've seen this body mold before. I think it's used with a maybe Thunderbird. And the same with the tassels. We've seen them before. He comes with 2 fisted hands out the box with the green gloves as well. So yeah, I just think this is a really nice looking figure. If you're a fan of Rictor, I think you're going to be very happy with this Marvel Legend. Of course, it's still got the pins. It's not an updated body. Pins on arms and legs. But still, it's going to do the job on your XForce display. Need to make room for him now, indeed. So in regards to the figure, as I said, he comes with fisted hands, but we do get a few options. So, fisted hands. He also comes with a set of flat palm hands. So, of course, he can do some karate chops. He can wave at his neighbours. He can salute Captain America, whatever you want to do. But they are to use with these power effects, which we've seen a lot before. And I don't mind it. If it works, it works. These are made of like a translucent green, so they might be fading away on the background. But they're very nice. And you hook these to the wrists like so, and that is how it will look. And to be fair, it looks pretty nice. Now in the comics, Rictor sort of can clap his hands together, but I don't think this figure is going to allow us to do that because it doesn't have a butterfly joint. So I guess that is where Rictor has his downfalls, because he can't really do his sort of iconic sort of power pose, if you will. But still, this works, and the power effects work nicely with Rictor, and I like how they're green and they sort of match the highlights on his uniform as well. So overall, I think Rictor is very nice, and as I said, a welcomed addition to the shelf, especially as we've never had him before in our collection, and we'll have to make room for him now on the X4 shelf. But let me take these off and I'll show you what I mean. So because there's no butterfly joints on this body mold, the arms can only go about that far, so we can squeeze his hands together, but it's not going to stay like that for display, if you know what I mean, because it's better if you pose him like that. Maybe if you've got elastic band, you could get it to work. Maybe we can squeeze these in. Maybe, sort of, there you go. So I've sort of clamped it together using the power effects. And there you go. Maybe we can do that. There you go. That sort of works, doesn't it? There you go. I've solved it live on camera. So, yeah, those power effects sort of act as a clamp. So you can sort of demonstrate Rictor doing his power like he does in many comic panels. So there you go. That works out well. He may end up being displayed like that on the shelf. So, yeah. Final thoughts on Rictor. Very nice. Before we move on, quick comparisons for Rictor. So here we have Warpath, a fellow X-Force member, and then Thunderbird as well, as he does share some body parts with Thunderbird. As you can see, the upper torso is essentially the same, with the same arms, even the same tassels on the side of the arms. It's just that Rictor has this new sort of overlay for the shoulders, which sort of makes him different, of course, and he's wearing boots, shoes. Obviously, Thunderbird's not. But there you go. Sort of the same figure, even the same height as well. And again, compared to Warpath, they're both a little bit short, but Warpath is massive. Next, let's see Rictor compared to Cable and a former love interest in Shatterstar. And again, I think Rictor is going to fit in very nice indeed. Moving on to Domino in her more 90s attire, and you can see she has this sort of face piece in this sort of metallic-y purple pink, and I think it covers the mouth a little bit too much. My mind's eye is that it's very much symmetrical the same way this side is, but this side sort of curls over and covers the mouth. Now, I don't remember it being like that in my head, but it may because it's copycat, I don't know. It sort of looks like a communicator, doesn't it? But if you move that out the way, you can just see her red lips there. She's sort of scowling at us a little bit with the red lips standing out against the white and black face. And one eye is completely whited out. The other one has pupils. So there you go. But yeah, that covers the mouth a little bit too much. I'd rather it be the same as this side, if that makes sense. Again, that's just my mind's eye of Domino. This may be completely accurate. The shoulder pads seem to be... Yeah, these are a separate piece attached to the top of the shoulder, so they shouldn't hinder the arm. And this is a new sculpted piece, as I've not seen this before. You get 3 little dots there, and then it is sculpted like a flap. But let's move the arms up, and let's make sure that, there you go, see, there you go. So it's not, it goes way past 90. Those shoulder pads do not hinder at all. As I said, these are a soft plastic that sort of hide the articulation well. Looking at her arms, she does have some nice silvery pink, metallic-y, sort of sculpted detail on both arms, very symmetrical, which I appreciate. This belt I'm sure we've seen before. Now it's just in this metallic-y purple again. Same with the strap on the leg, that's in a metallic-y purple, so that's a separate piece, that's a separate piece. But I like the dark sort of purpley blue against the white. As I said, it is very accurate to how Domino looked during this time. And yeah, sort of standard female articulation as you would expect with Domino. Can she double? Yeah, double jointed knees pretty good. She can kick her own ass all day long. long. Other than that, it's sort of standard female as you would expect. No pins on the arm, pins on the legs. Decent range on the legs as well, to be fair. That's pretty good. And then no ab crunch, but she is on that sort of ball joint at the top of the diaphragm. And the head, lots of range on the head. It seems to be on a dumbbell joint because this is a new upper torso. It seems like there's a ball in the neck and in the top of the head. So look at all that range up there. She can go crazy. So yeah, no problem there with her looking around. That's pretty good, to be fair. And yeah, she's looking very nice. So as I said, sculpted pieces on the arm that match the shoulder. And yeah, this is pretty good. So she does come with 2 trigger finger hands, and that is because Domino comes with 2 weapons, which are, so at least this time they're not bright purple, which I appreciate. This time they're black with a little bit of chrome up top, but you can see how her trigger finger sort of fits in there very nicely indeed, and she grips that really well. You can even see her finger on the trigger, which is a nice touch. So I think we've seen these weapons before, but I'm not too sure. They sort of look like Star-Lord's blasters, but they're not. Familiar. So if you know what they are, let me know in the comments. But yeah, these definitely work for Domino all the same, and she holds it very nice. So there's one smaller gun. She does come with a bigger one, which I know we've seen before. Now this second gun we've definitely seen before. I recognise the sort of triangle pattern here on the barrel, but again, it's in the same sort of colour palette as the other gun with the black and then the sort of chrome trim. So there you go, there's her 2 weapons. It looks a little bit oversized for Domino, but that was usually the case in the comics back then anyway, so I'm not mad about it. And this is where you can actually utilise the double jointed elbows on a female. I really should have brought more attention to them, to be fair. Let me take this gun off, and there you go. So we've got double pinless elbows on Domino, on a female as well, and if you utilise them, look at that. Shardamus Prime would be very happy. You can literally get her arms folded all the way. So again, for holding these weapons, it's going to be very useful. And her hands are a nice soft plastic, so you can get her fingers on the trigger very easily. And she will hold even the big gun, even with one hand. So you can get her wielding both guns if you want to. There you go, wielding both guns. Now the only thing we need now is butterfly joints to be standard on all figures, and we could get her arms nice and straight. But still, works very nice. Obviously I'm not going to pose her like that, but she can still hold both weapons, which I always appreciate for a display. Even if you get her in a neutral pose on the shelf, she can hold her weapons, which I like. So yeah, Domino, very nice. If you don't want to display Domino with her weapons, she does come with a set of interchangeable fisted hands, which is great. Again, all Marvel Legends are starting to come with these. I think they should come with Legends as standard for that more neutral pose. So yeah, I appreciate that as well. Here we have Domino compared to the previous version of Domino, and as you can see, drastically different, not just in design, but also as figures themselves, as the new Domino uses completely different parts to the previous one. As I said, this one still has the single jointed elbows, this one has the double jointed elbows, which is going to work a lot better for holding your weapons, but other than that, yeah, all different in regards to figure, and both different eras of XForce as well, so both worthy of a place in the display in different places, so you didn't even know about it. But if you really wanted to, as I said, you can pretend this is Copycat, and then you've got Copycat and Domino, another new character for the shelf. So you can be sneaky. I definitely think both of these are worthy of a place on the display. Let me know your favourite version of Domino in the comments below. Here we have Domino compared to Cable and Deadpool. Here we have Domino compared to 2 other XForce members with Sunspot and of course the other female, Boom Boom. And if I move Sunspot out the way for a minute and just give some attention to the females, we are missing a couple of female XForce members. So we still need Feral. She is a big gap in the collection. And we also need Siren as well. She'd make a nice addition to the crew. So yeah, we need a couple more females before we've got that first sort of initial main XForce team. And then last, but by no means least, the main event, if you will, the big talking point of this free pack. Here we have Cannonball with legs. So let's just do a straight up comparison with the previous version, shall we? So let me move him back. Let's bring in the other Cannonball, which you can see, the poor guy, he never had legs. He's been waiting for this moment for a long time because I've been told that these legs will attach onto this guy. So I just want to see if it works, so we have options for a Cannonball. So of course, we know that blast effect comes off. I mean, it leaves poor Cannonball with no legs. Poor guy, can't stand, can't do anything. This guy will pop off the same way. There you go. So now we've got 2 legless Cannonballs. But of course, we want to see if these legs fit on here. But let's just review these legs for a second. We've been waiting a long time for these legs. Look at these. Let's just give them a moment. This is beautiful. Some nice boots there. It's got double jointed knees. There's a bit of swivel at the thigh. This is beautiful. Very nice. Great legs. Been waiting a long time. But do they fit on the previous Cannonball? Let's do it. So they clip on, no problem at all. And there you go, they do fit on, but if I zoom in just for a second, you'll see the purples don't exactly match. Definitely a darker purple jacket to the legs. They do work, like you can get it to work if that doesn't bother you, but for me, the purples match a little bit better on this new Cannonball. So this guy will forever be on the blast effect. I'm afraid, mate, but I'm sure he's not mad about it. Now I can have one Cannonball with a blast effect and the other Cannonball with legs. Hooray! Let me just zoom in and show you how that works. So you got a hole and then you got a peg and there you go. Clip. You heard it, clip. Simple as that. So now we have two Cannonballs. Whoops, you can't see. There you go. Two Cannonballs. This guy does come with a blast effect as well, though. And as you can see, it is different in regards to deco. This one's a very much more translucent. It does have a nice orange to yellow fade in that translucent plastic, where over here it's not as translucent, definitely a darker orange, move to lighter orange, and then you get a little bit of white there to sort of represent Cannonball when he's blasting off. So I actually quite like this new one a little bit more compared to the previous one. So if I'm going to have this Cannonball with legs and this one as a blast effect, I might actually do a quick switcheroo. And there you go, I actually do like the white shirt that fades into the white smoke down there. So I may use this new blast effect on the previous upper torso of Cannonball for my blasting off Cannonball on display, and then I'll keep this guy with legs. We also get a new head sculpt for Cannonball. This time the goggles are a little bit nicer in my opinion, and he's obviously not screaming his head off this time. So I like that a lot, to be fair. And I like having those options as well, as when he's having his normal legs on, he's not screaming, he's not blasting off, is he? So I like that we can have a neutral Cannonball for our XForce display. So I like that a lot. But this guy does come with the screaming head too. There you go. And you'll notice the goggles are different because it is a straight up reissue of the previous Cannonball head on the other one. If you can see, it's got the smaller goggles. So the new head isn't new, it's just a little bit of a repaint, because this is the new head where you can actually see it has the updated goggles, the other head doesn't. So yeah, just a bit of reuse, but I'm not mad about it at all. Other than that, it is the exact same figure, it's just different deco. There's even different deco on the jacket to sort of bring out some of that sculpted detail we never seen on the previous one. So it looks like new pieces, but it's not, it's just updated deco. Obviously the previous Cannonball had the brown gloves to match the brown of the sort of helmet, but this time round he goes for the grey gloves to match the highlights of the purple jacket. Also, he has the light purple shirt, where the previous Cannonball has the white shirt. And yeah, even though it's a separate piece for the legs, it does fit very nice and flush, so you can get use of that waist swivel, and it doesn't look like the figure breaks apart. It just looks like any other Marvel Legends, which I appreciate. But other than that, the jacket is the same sculpt. As I said, it is a separate piece, but you won't want to take it off because then they have jacketed arms. Swivel at the top of the jacket, there are pins, of course, and he only comes with fisted hands. My only gripe about this figure is that because the jacket is so thick, his arms, you can't really get him in a neutral pose. Like, they're always sticking out a little bit, if you know what I mean. Like, they're always sort of like that. So not as dramatic as that, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I wish his arms could go in a little bit tighter to the body, but that is because obviously the jacket's a separate piece. It sits under the sort of shoulder there. But again, it's fine, because I guess I have Cannonball looking up like that, because as a guy that blasts, he does look up really well, to be fair. So no complaints on that at all. Nice looking up. But as I said, this is how I'm going to display my Cannonballs on the shelf. I have one version with legs looking neutral, and then my other version will probably be using the new blast effect with the screaming head. And yeah, nice to have options. They will definitely both find a place on the shelf, that's for sure. I have to say, it is great to see Cannonball standing. So here we have Cannonball next to a couple of X-Force members with Sunspot and of course Warpath. Here we have some more members with Shatterstar and Boom Boom. And I think a lot of people were using Shatterstar's legs as a replacement legs for Cannonball previously, but now you don't need to. Here we have Cannonball compared to a couple of different cables. Very curious to know your favourite cable. Let me know in the comments below. I think my favourite is this one. It just looks epic, especially when you're standing next to Deadpool as well. So yeah, again, great to see Cannonball standing. And let's bring the three of them back in. So this is a very nice free pack. If you're an X-Men fan, if you're an X-Force fan, as I said, it is the only way to get Rictor and the only way to get Cannonball's legs. So I do think this is going to be worth picking up. So here's the three of them standing together, looking very nice. But let's see if we can build an X-Force team. So here we have a very nice XForce setup. Now my display is a little sloppy, but I wanted to fit them all in frame just to show you what characters you could use in an XForce display. We're just missing a few characters now, and we basically have every member from the first 50 issues. So we have Cable, Shatterstar, Cannonball, Domino, Rictor, Sunspot, Warpath, Boom Boom. Now we are missing some of the females. As I said, Hasbro need to give the females some love, so we 100% need Feral. She is a gap in the collection, and then Siren would also be a nice addition as well. So once we have them, as I said, we have most of the members, well, virtually all of the members from the first 50 issues. Now I doubt Domino would sit there cross-legged, but as I said, I wanted to fit them all in frame, and let's be honest, they look good. I'm liking it a lot. And then finally, here we have the XForce team compared to Hellfire Hank and Captain Britain. So final thoughts, I think this is a very nice free pack, especially if you're an X-Men fan, you're an X-Force fan. Definitely need to pick it up as it's the only way to get Rictor, a nice 90s version of Domino, and finally, Cannonball has some legs. So definitely a free pack worthy of picking up. So as I said, hopefully this should be in your hands by the end of the year, wherever you have ordered it. But thank you to Hasbro for sending this out my way. Much appreciated to the Marvel team as always. And I will definitely now have to rearrange my whole X-Men, X-Force sort of display and shelf to make sure I get all these characters in there, as they look very nice and definitely pop. They have that 90s flavour, don't they? It's really nice. So you let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, are you picking up this free pack? Let me know your favourite X-Force member in the comments below. Which character do we need next? For me, hands up for Feral. You can reuse that tiger body, as I said. Let's make it happen. But let me know in the comments below. And as always, you know what to do. Please, please, please hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. You can now hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Quite simply show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. I'm on Twitter at Dan Who Reviews. And until then, I will, of course, see you on the next one.